shit going.
Hey, what's going on, guys? First thing I want to say is that this is not a tutorial. I usually make these videos giving you a rough understanding of what I am drawing. But this is me drawing with the reference, and I usually do sometimes draw with a reference, but I don't usually give the tips that I usually about to give right now. Like the pros and cons of drawing with the reference, it can usually make you feel less motivated or even more motivated if you're good at it or not. So the first thing I would really want to get into is establishing how you want to go about this art piece. It definitely does matter, because if you don't remember how to actually go about the basics that you want to go through, or if you just completely wing it, you're probably going to come through with a lot of mistakes. So what I'm clearly trying to say is make sure you go about the specific basics that you really want to go through to make sure the drawing is how you want to make it. Because if you don't, you might just come out with a drawing that you don't feel completely as inspired by, because this Wonder Woman drawing is kind of one of those for me. I honestly didn't feel completely like I did the arm correctly. I felt like there's a lot of issues that I had with it, but at the end of the day, I just enjoyed drawing it, and I honestly wanted to post it because I was like, you know what, it didn't turn out half bad. So that's kind of also what I mean about the motivation thing. So if you're not really motivated to draw something, you might not finish it. And that's a lot of sketches that I also can't understand why some people just leave it alone and just leave it like, you know what, I can finish it later. But that's why you gotta run down the basics that you usually understand immediately at the beginning. Because I understand that I messed up on it, but I feel like if I had just ran down those basics, it would have been way easier. I wouldn't have struggled nearly as much, because I felt like I rushed clearly on her body. I feel like of course her face isn't perfect, but I feel like at the same time, her body was just But let me know in the comments if you guys think it looked too different from the reference, because I think it looked very different from the reference. But anyway, we're on to the next drawing. But honestly, I have to also say that these drawings are me trying to satisfy the urge of drawing something hard and more difficult for me to be able to understand immediately. So I also was giving myself not enough time to really grasp what I was drawing. So if you do that, I want to be able to give you some basic knowledge right now. Lay down the proportions that you already understand, because if you don't, you're probably going to come out with a lot of details that are not aligned with the drawing properly. Because I messed up multiple times on her face. You can see through the video, I actually had to keep on correcting it multiple times. And the reason of that is because you like the details so much, so you just draw the details before the proportions. And that isn't a bad thing. You just got to get used to not doing that. I know the whole video was me just pretty much saying, you got to make sure you lay down the basics before you lay down the details, but at the same time, I hope you guys liked the video, and I got more coming soon. Stay tuned.